Great. Welcome to Digital Asset News. My name's Rob, and we got a lot of things to go over, everybody. So let's just jump into it. So first of all, before we get started, we're going to go over the market recap, take a look at what's going on. Then we're going to talk about exactly why you're here because of the thumbnail that I put out and the title, which was, we haven't seen this bottom indicator since March of 2020. And if you remember back then, that's when that whole thing called the coronavirus. I don't know if you heard about that, kind of a big thing, and it dropped the whole market. So we are going to see this bottom indicator. Hopefully it's in, but it's anybody's guess. Also, we're going to take a look at what I call the crypto flywheel and why I believe this market is only going to get bigger and it's not going to go away anytime soon. And I'm going to give you a prime example of what I did last night at my business. And next, we're going to talk about what I call Toyota coin. And it's mostly like a thought experiment as to what could be. And then lastly, I'm going to talk to you about why I think that SWEATCOIN will be the biggest TGE or token generating event in crypto history that's come out in Q3. And lastly, we'll go over a little bit Q&A. So let's just jump right in and get into it. First off, if you're here for the live stream, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, especially on a Sunday. That's pretty great of you to come over here. So we'll do the stories about what's going on. Then we'll do Q&A. Stories take about 15, 20 minutes or so, and then Q&A. We do a little bit differently. We're going to, on the live stream, we'll do the Q&A. It may take 10 minutes, could take 40 minutes, don't know. And then we separate that from the live stream in a separate video. So let's just jump right in. So here's what we got. Today, as far as the market itself, Sunday, it's kind of boring. A little bit of sideways, a little bit of a win, but remember, Bitcoin's still below 30,000. I don't need to tell you this because you look at your portfolio all the time. I know who you are because I do the same thing, which we shouldn't, but yeah, we do. Ethereum 1.4 up, Tether, well, some people care actually. Binance Coin 317, everything's looking pretty good. I mean, as far as like up a little bit, but remember, this is just the 24 hours. We take a look at the 7-day, Bitcoin just holding steady and everything pretty much is. There's some kind of losers, honestly. Polkadot is still down 12% for the week. Avalanche is down 7%. Sheeb down 5%. So even though we haven't regained where we should be, take the little victories. So if you're a trader, this is prime time for you. You're probably crushing it as we oscillate in between these different numbers and go forward. So it's looking not too bad. And I know some people were bragging to me about Terra being up 36%. Yeah, that's awesome. But it's also down 60% for 7 days. So try to look at the big picture. And that's what's going on into the market. So let's just get into it and talk about this indicator that we haven't seen since coronavirus days. And it's MVRV. And this is from friend of the show, Crypto Quant. You can I don't have an affiliate link. I just have a regular link, but you can go check them out. That's what I use all my on-chain analysis for. I like this. It's easy to use for somebody even like me. So I like it. Makes things simplified. And people have been talking about I don't care about the outflow for miners. It's been not anything spectacular to talk about. All exchange reserves, yes, Bitcoin still goes down. Ethereum reserves, yes, it's still going down. Take about on, yes, but it pumps up when the price goes down and whales start accumulating. Yes. And of course, this is the one that I'm always concerned about, the leverage ratio. And you can just see that people just love trading on leverage. I'm not that guy. And if you're that guy or gal, good luck to you. It's just not my thing. But we peaked at an all-time high of leverage, 0.26. Anything above 0.2 is like ridiculously high. And in May, we peaked around 0.27. And now we're back again to 0.25. Sweet Mary Joseph, it's never going to stop. But that's for the traders, and I'm just patient. But this one I want to talk to you about, MVRV ratio. And what this is, let me blow this up so you can see it. Market value to realized value. The ratio of coins market cap is to realized cap, which indicates whether the price is overvalued or not, which is what that's the big question for everybody. Historically, values over 3.7 indicate a price top, and values below 1 indicated, past tense, a price bottom. So if we take a look at this, let me blow this up so you can see it. That'd probably help out. Right, here we go. And we can see, actually, let's go to just a year or so. I'm not going to go back. Well, if I go to all, it's not going to do it. But if we go, well, I have to go back to all. So in March, for this MVRV, where are we? March 2019. come over here. So anything below 1 would be like the bottom. And if we take a look here, 1.67, 1.75. I think the lowest we had was this is in 2021. Wish I could do it better, but if we see over here, market value to realized value, we've been dipping pretty far. And of course, as the price goes down, that's exactly what goes down. And if we take a look here, May 15th, we're at 1.24, 1.3, 1.24, 1.2. So we're not at that below 1, but we really are pushing the boundaries here. Even at 1, even down over here looks like it dipped, but it's not as far down as it was before. So the realized value is going down. So when I talk about that this is the indicator we haven't seen since March, if you take a look here, we are almost at that point to what will be considered a bottom, which if you take a look at the graph itself, last time we saw it this low was in 14th of March, 2020. That's when the coronavirus hit. People were scared out of their minds. I don't know if you were here, but it was a great buying opportunity. I got to admit, even I was a little bit concerned. I'm like, who knows how long this is going to go for? And we see it right here. Now, you can see it at other time points. We can see it in December 2018, actually the whole time throughout 2018, except November. But you can see it again. Just kind of goes down and down. So if we're trying to look at bottom indicators, this is one of those times. So what does this mean for you and me? Well, depends on what you want to do. So for me, I do the same thing every day. It's pretty boring. It's just accumulate Bitcoin, Ethereum. What I'm waiting for, though, is some indicators so I get into certain altcoins. And that, I believe, is where the millionaires are made. These altcoins, it'll probably be the same ones that I did before, just a little bit with a little bit of a twist. Probably be Cardano, probably be Solana, probably be Near, probably be Avalanche and DOT. Just waiting to see how far down we can go. And I'm going to be watching this indicator quite closely. But if you're looking at a time, this might be the time for you. I can't tell you what to do because I'm not a financial advisor and just a financial opinion. But I can tell you right now, I'm a little bit more positive as to we are getting to that point where we can say finally, okay, this might potentially be the bottom. However, everybody out there will tell you the same thing, but nobody knows for sure. So do the best research you can, and that's what we got. So let me just think about that in the comments section. And there's a couple more things I did want to talk about as far as on-chain analysis, which is Ben's website, App into the Cryptoverse. You can check it out. It's not an affiliate link. I just love using it because it's awesome. But again, if we take a look at the trend lines for the crypto market cap itself, see this red one right here? This is the fair value market cap. And in 2017, the fair value was 89 billion. We were way above that. We were at, what was that, 300 billion. Then when we hit the all-time highs at 820 billion, we should have been for the fair value way down here. It was way, way, way overbought. And it was a great time because we thought we're going to keep going up, but it never works like that. And it goes down. And then we kind of hit the crescendo right around November 2018. And now here we are again. We are below the fair market value price. So these are the times when honestly, this is where I make all of my money. I mean, the fair value should be around 1.6 trillion, 1.69 trillion. But we are down about 1.3. So this might be a time. And then there is one thing I like to point out, though, and that is that people get kind of worried about this, but don't be, because if you just take a look at the fair value, just next year, 2.3. That's the fair value. That's not if things don't go crazy. 2.5, 2.7. We can get back to where we were before August next summer. Next summer, 3.2 trillion. Maybe the summer after that, 4.3 trillion. Maybe the summer after that, geez, that's even more. 7 trillion. So again, I think we've got a long way to go. I think this is just the second or third inning, however you want to classify it. I think times are looking pretty good. However, right now, there's some things I can't show you on Ben's website. Sorry, because I'm a paid member. But there is one part here. Where'd it go? Return on investment. Yeah, monthly returns. these are all the months that you can see as far as like monthly returns. And April statistically was a pretty darn good month. I mean, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the last 10 years or so. Looked pretty good. And we had one of the worst of all time. And now if we take a look at May, so far, 20% down. And if you take a look out of the first 5 months of this year, we're down pretty significantly, 3 out of the 5. And even March was just barely a squeaker. So if you take a look at that, out of the first 5 months, 3 are bad. The last time we did that, 1, 2, 3, or 3 out of the 5 was 2015, 2014 after the crash of 2013. What about 2018? Yeah, 2018, another stinker of a year. Same thing over here, 3 months. So I think that hopefully the bottom is in, but you have to take a look at all the data, and it's not looking so favorable to really go parabolic, but obviously. Anyhow, that's the on-chain analysis. Let's get to some good news, huh? So the good news, I think, personally, is that I don't think crypto is going away anytime soon. And I'm going to tell you just my experience. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. So try to get into different businesses, and one of those is a sports facility here in El Paso, sand volleyball, sand soccer. And so last night we had another league for sand volleyball, and I said, you know what? I want to use this product, and I want to give out NFTs for people who come to play volleyball at my place. I don't run it. I have people to do it for me. It's much easier. So the question I had was, I wonder if people even know what the hell an NFT is. So when they came out, I said, hey, how'd you like an NFT? And the first person was like, yes. And I was like, great, this is going to be work. So for the, I think we had 8 or 9 teams. So I asked all the captains, and about half of them said yes. They knew what it was, and they actually wanted one for free. And I said, sure, here's the NFT. And how did I do that? Because minting NFTs is pretty expensive, depending on if you're on Ethereum or Cardano or some other place, right? Cardano is very cheap, actually. And what I did was I used this product called POAP. And before anybody starts going, Rob is the biggest shill of all time. First of all, I'm the king of the shills. And second of all, I'm not shilling anything because it's actually a free product, which is crazy. So I learned about this 2 days ago from a friend of the show, Anthony, who was also, I knew him from iTrust. He is actually the one coming into iTrust. And he's like, hey, I'm working over at POAP, which proof of, I always get this wrong, proof of activity protocol, proof of attendance protocol, POAP. And he said, Rob, you got to check this out because it's 100% free. Free to use as an event organizer, and free for people to actually mint the NFTs. I'm like, yeah, it's bull, but it does work. So I'm not getting paid anything for this. I'm just showing you this is what I did, and this is why I think crypto is here to stay. So check this out. First of all, what is this? Since proof attendance protocols are NFTs, they're minted and secured on a blockchain. By default, POAPs, not called POAPs, I learned that the hard way, POAPs are minted on Gnosis or Gnosis chain, previously XDAI, an Ethereum-based sidechain that uses a proof-of-stake mechanism. This allows POAPs to be free for everyone, both for collectors to mint and issuers to distribute. Let me read that one more time. This allows POAPs to be free for everyone, for collectors to mint and issuers to distribute. So I was like, great, I'm going to do that and give it all to the people that are showing up in my place for volleyball. And again, half of them actually knew what it was, which is pretty great. And then let's see. Our interest in the matter is to help brands, individuals, and the rest of the world build towards better ways of engaging. POAP is an open platform where all parties are equal citizens. As such, brands use the platform on the same terms as individuals and social groups. So the next question I had to Anthony was this. Cool, how are they making money, man? Because no one does stuff for free. It doesn't work like that. And he goes, oh, well, he goes, for if you have it below a certain threshold, like 500 or something like that, then it's free to use. But if you want like a white glove service for like huge brands like Miller Lite or like NASCAR or whatever ones that they may or may not have different contracts with, then we have a white glove service and we charge for that. But for the other part, it's free. And I was like, man, this is crazy. So when I looked at that, I was like, this is why I think that crypto is not going anywhere. So in the beginning of the internet, I'm old, so I remember these days. It was pretty expensive to get on. Then AOL came out with this little CD-ROM that you got. And you put that in, and you had a free little trial. It was very cheap to do, and you could actually do it, and it was super simple to use. And that was the first one, and it was slow and clunky. It still worked. And then from there, it just, people's interest started to gain, and it worked out pretty well. And I think it's the same way here. So like the people that I gave these NFTs to, and I'll show you how I did it. First of all, they have no idea. Most of them didn't know what an NFT was, even though, half of them, I mean, they knew what it was, but they didn't know really how to use it. So I said, so there's a QR code. They scan it with their phone. And I always thought to myself, why don't people just use QR code? Because during the coronavirus, that's all we did when we went out to eat. When we went out to eat, you would just scan the QR code and the menu would come up. So everybody knows about that. So the same thing with NFTs. So they'd scan it. They would get the NFT. It would be sent to, and they could do one of two things. Put in their Ethereum address, which guess what? Only one person had. Or they could put in their email, and there was instructions about how you could use or get a Ethereum wallet, which it's pretty simple, MetaMask, right? Or if you wanted one on your exchange, doesn't matter. So what it's going to do, it's going to allow people to go, I've heard about NFTs. I have no idea what they are really, but it sounds cool. Then it was, okay, give me one of those, and it's for free. That's awesome. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, now I get to understand what a MetaMask wallet is and how that works in Web3 and so on and so forth. So if you take a look at just this example, people are going to, it's the flywheel effect. They don't know what it is. Then they get engaged. Then they become the actual crypto responsible person. And they start to actually learn about crypto. And it just sees coming and coming and coming. So I didn't really think about it, but I think NFTs, of course, are going to really bring us into the forefront. And it's just this example, right? Now, if we get into like, I don't know, a little DeFi action or maybe a little staking, and they're like, wow, I don't need to put this in my bank, and I can just gain yields in these things called stable coins, which sounds pretty good to me. And then I have these different apps. It's just going to go from there. So flywheel effect, I think, is in full form. So back to this POAP thing, POAP. There's just, I linked the link in the description. Again, I don't get anything for this. It's just like you can do much. But it is pretty cool. So POAP is a new way of keeping a reliable record of life experiences. And Anthony tells me that when I go to Consensus in Austin, that this will be everywhere. I'm like, okay. And actually, we have a bet that, well, I'll tell you later. I want to engage your community. And with this, you can organize a raffle, hold POAP weighted polls, and do other different things. And then, so what I did was I just used a basic image of the flyer that we used for this volleyball event, and I just uploaded it, and this is what people got. Well, now these are all different things that you can do. You can mint these things, and it'll be a record of all the activities and all the places that you go to. And of course, you can make them into a GIF, and it looks pretty cool, and it's got all the different the data behind it. So it's like an event not an event passport. You know how like in passports they stamp it, kind of like that. So all the places you've gone, you're like, oh, it was here and here and here and here. So that's that part. And then it's not just nothing going on. There's like a ton of different events that are already out there. And then, well, that's just one. Let's see. 2. These are just all the different events that actually get minted. Hey, what happened? 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. And then, so some people might be asking, like, well, how do I set that up? Again, all you got to do is go to the POAP website, which is poap.xyz. And all you do is just click on POAP events and click create new POAP. You fill in the thing, upload a GIF or a PNG file, and that's pretty much it. And then also, just so you know, they've got a pretty cool status of POAP, so you can see like if it's actually up or down and whatnot. And you can see that it's a pretty stable blockchain so far. So yeah. So just real quick, the way that I did it, once you upload everything, the PNG file, then it'll say, do you want a QR code? Yes. You get a QR code, which is on your phone. And then you just say, hey, do you want an NFT? Sure. Just scan this. and they scan the QR code and off they go. It's awesome. So anyhow, let me just think about POAP in the comment section. And then let's move on to like a little thought experiment, as I call it. Toyota coin. It was a comment from John, and it made me think a lot. I try to read as many comments as I can. It says, and we were just this is from yesterday's show. He says, why does no one care that coins are not investing in the company? Imagine Toyota comes out with Toyota coin, and you can buy shares of Toyota on the stock market, and you can own part of the company, or you can buy Toyota coin and own no part of the company. Duh. What are y'all thinking? Coins are not shares. And I thought about it. I said, he's absolutely right. Coins are not shares like in the traditional sense as far as equities. However, the question that I had then was this, and I posed it to the community. I said, look, in the future, how many companies are going to monetize their brand? Like, let's say Toyota does do that. Can they tokenize their community and skip going public with their stock options? I don't know if they'll probably do that because there's so much money in going public. But what would it be like if this example, Toyota has Toyota coin and allows governance on the design, specs, and release dates of new vehicles through voting? And then some people say, well, that's the whole point of stocks. You can vote with your stocks because you are a stockholder in the company. I'm like, look, man, that may be true for some pretty heavy stockholders, but I own Tesla, I own Mara, I own Amazon. I haven't voted on anything yet. I'm just a very small fry. But what if you could tokenize everything, and you can actually have like in this case, Toyota coin. You have it, and it would be the governance coin. You could vote on all the different things that they have, right? Or whatever it is, what new specs that are coming out, new cars, new upgrades, new downgrades. And then DJ Crypto said it best. He goes, what if Toyota coin helped with maintenance costs, time, trade-in values, repairs, etc.? And I thought to myself, yeah, it's even better. You can tokenize your whole community around Toyota and say, look, do you like Toyota? Well, here's the coin, and you can stake it, and you can gain yield off it. Also, if you want to bring it into our service center, you get a 20% off if you hold Toyota coin, depending on which kind of tiers that you have. Oh, and also, if you want to upgrade or you want to actually trade it in, we're going to give you an extra 5%. But it doesn't matter. The whole thing I think of is the idea of stocks versus an actual crypto in Toyota. I think you can see where there's some advantages. And then what about having like immediate feedback right away? Not just like, having it on like a Twitter or Instagram or some kind of poll, but you just have it on like your actual token, whatever, Toyota coin, whatever. And you say, look, guys, whoever is a holder, come over here. We're gonna have a governance. This is what's gonna do, and you can vote and blah, blah, blah. I think that's one of the ways that crypto really moves into the mainstream. But it was just a thought experiment. I'd love to hear what you guys say about this, and we'll talk about this in Q&A. But I thought, hey, this could be the next thing. So anyhow, let me know, and let's move on to our last story before we get into the Q&A, which is SWEATCOIN. And I have been talking about this a lot. And the reason is because I got the second channel, Dan Degen. It's just a degenerate channel. It's just expect to lose everything. But it's these projects that I have a theory that the stronger the community is, and the more that you already have built in, the more it'll succeed. I think we see that with. Just take a look at XRP and Ripple. If it wasn't for that strong community, that token would be dead right now. But because of them and their bullishness, it's still viable. It's still out there. The SEC crushed those hopes and dreams, unfortunately, but it was because of the community. And it happened the same thing with SALT. SALT was a lending platform. The SEC came in and said, this is a security. And because of the community, it was a security. And because the community wasn't that strong, it went away. So the thesis is that the communities really make things happen. And if you can have a community that's strong before you even launch a crypto, it's like almost a slam dunk. And when I talk about this, I always talk about, will it make the cut? And this is the whole basis. The community, that's the first part. The utility, does it do something special? Is it new? Or is it just the same old thing? How are the team? What have they done before? And of course, the tokenomics. Am I going to get dumped on? So of course, for the 3 that we've done so far, I've talked about this many times, Genso Kishi, Everdome, and Fame, this one is actually buoying my whole portfolio because we got in before. Genso Kishi, They already had a game out on PS4 and Nintendo Switch and iOS and Android. Millions of gamers. So they came in, slam dunk. Everdome, they had teamed up with Meta Hero, and they already had a strong community, slam dunk. Fame MMA, they're going global now, not just in the EU for fights, for influencers. So it's a no-brainer as well. And this next one, I think is a no-brainer too, because SWEATCOIN, you can download this right now. It's not a crypto. It's just an app that you download. It sits in the background, and it gives you these sweat coins, which are like bonus points, like rewards points, which you can purchase little things like shoes and different, like, I don't know, like little goofy electronics just for walking. I mean, you're gonna walk anyhow, so why not? So it doesn't have a crypto yet. But the thing that impresses me is that, first of all, it's going to have a crypto, and I believe it's on Q3. It's a new crypto you generate with your steps. Sweat will be available to any SWEATCOIN user. Could be a very big, large thing. And this is what makes me very interested in this project. No, I didn't get paid by them, but I will be investing into them. I can tell you that. So initially, Sweat will be available to eligible users who can download the SWEATCOIN app. And this is where they're talking about crypto. Right now, you can download SWEATCOIN right now and start using it. I've used it for 3 months. And some of you have been using it for years. It's been around for like 3+ years. But in early Q1 2022, SWEATCOIN had 65 million users. Let me say that one time. Early Q1, January, February, I don't know. SWEATCOIN had 65 million users. By early May, it was 76. Well, that's not bad. Let me do some quick math. Yeah, it's like 11 million more users in a month or so. The number of users growing. We expect this to continue as we have just initiated our global expansion plan, increasing the countries the app is available in from 75 to 160. By the Sweat token generation event, when they actually have Sweat cryptocurrency, we anticipate a predicted minimum of 137 million users. So here's the thing, why I'm telling you about this. Like, this is like the 4th time I've talked about it. When you download the app and you just start walking, you don't have to even turn it on or anything like that. They give you these sweat coins. You can spend them in their little shop. Like I said, they're like just like bonus points, right? There's no crypto yet. But if you just hold on to them, all the sweat coins that you generate, they're going to give you the crypto coin, sweat coin. Crazy. That's going to happen right now. So again, the thesis, community. This one can't be beat. It has a massive community. The utility. Well, there are other move to earn platforms, and I am not a fan. I think you all know of the other ones. So I think it's okay. The team, they've been around for years. They've done this, they've been pretty successful. They already have pretty big partnerships. I know, like, I see their Apple products on there, Dr. Dre Beats and stuff like that. So they're pretty good. The tokenomics, I've got to take a look at a deep dive, and I'll do that soon. Let me just do that now, actually. SWEATCOIN. I'll do that soon and do a deep dive. So I don't know about the tokenomics yet, but it doesn't matter, because right now you could download this and start using it right now and get these coins. So there is 2 things to note. First of all, see where it says eligible users. Initially, SWEAT will be available to eligible users. Who are they? I'll tell you who it's not. You warrant, represent, and agree that you are not a national, resident, or incorporated in the United States of America, People's Republic of China, or any sanctioned country as defined in clause blah, 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 blah. Thank you, Gary Gensler, for protecting me harder. Just saying. So if you're in the United States, initially you will not get these coins. However, down the road, probably, maybe, I don't know. So here's the thing. 2 things real quick. In all my videos, let's do this. This is ones from yesterday. Nice shirt. All right, so let's see. I always hate how they do this. Okay. So in the link in the description, there's going to be like something that looks like this. These little running guys right here. You can download SWEATCOIN. Doesn't matter if you have Android or an Apple phone. And I think I get like 5 sweat coins. So little shill. Not king shill, little shill stuff. And what's cool about this, I want to show you what's really cool. Do you want to follow me and try to beat me in my steps? I guarantee you won't. I guarantee you will not beat me. Here's what I'm talking about. Let me share my phone screen. I rarely do this, so this might not work. Check this out. Hey, it works. Cool. This is my SWEATCOIN app, which I downloaded and have for 3 months. You see underneath there, there's like a little house. And there's like, so this is how many steps I did today. Didn't have that many. I didn't have my phone on me this morning, but I'm telling you right now, you will not beat me in steps. The second one is where you do all the shopping. So all the coins that you get. So like every 100 steps, I think you get like a SWEATCOIN. Every 1,000 steps, I think it's every 1,000 steps you get a SWEATCOIN coin. And then you can buy stuff like, I don't know, Starbucks, some kind of cards. Usually they have like Apple stuff here, but whatever. Then over here is the wallet. I've got a whopping 2,330 SWEATCOINs. Bam. Not too bad. But this is the magic right here. On the very last one, the two little people there. Damn it, Alex beat me today. So you can follow me and try to beat me in my general steps. And it looks like I'm losing to everybody today, which sucks. Ooh, let's see how I'm doing this month, though. Yes, that's what I thought. Just kidding. So for the steps this month, I got 242,000. When you sign up, if you go to search, right underneath here where it says search, my name is Rob Dan. All you got to do is type in ROBDAN. And then I don't know who these people are. Follow this guy. That guy, sure. And you can follow them and you can see how you rank up. And what I'm going to do, oh, here's my recent followers. Simone, I'll follow you. Jason Fisher and Theodore. So yeah. So you don't get it. They just show you the steps. Here's the thing. The end of this month. Let's do it at the end of this month. If you beat me in steps, nah, this isn't fair. This isn't fair. We'll start in June because this month no one's going to beat me. Because I was walking around Italy and England and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is this. Download the app. And if you can beat me in the steps, 3 people. I doubt it. But let's say 3 people do beat me. Whatever. One, the person that wins is seeing the steps. I'll have you on the show. The person that comes in second, I'll give you a shout out and a portfolio review. And the third one, I don't know. Well, I'm going to leave that up in the air. I'm going to do a poll over on Twitter to see which one's best. So download the app, follow me. You can see how bad I'm crushing you in the steps, and we'll go from there. And that's what's going on. So look, that went a little bit long. Sorry about that. A lot of things going on. Let's do a little Q&A. So just as you know, if you're here for the live stream, of course, will be for the live stream. If you're watching the replay, we cut the Q&A and we put that into a separate video. It's all because of an algorithm. That's just how YouTube helps us to push the content out, because the longer the videos sometimes don't really work out. And that's what's up. So let's get into little comments and then go from there. All right.